good evening to our RANsquawk listeners. So we have just gone through that closing bell on Wall Street. Has been a relatively quiet session in the latter half of today. So initially in the US session, we did see an aggressive sell-off at the beginning. So we saw US and European stock futures heading south, and we also saw the same sort of movement in Eurodollar as well. But since then, we've seen better than expected initial jobless claims out of the US, so that did boost markets slightly. We did finish relatively flat for the session. We also saw a very solid auction out of the US for their 7-year note auction for $29 billion worth. So that came in with a better bid to cover and a lower yield as well. So a good auction there out of the US, again boosting sentiment. And in recent flows, in terms of the currency markets, we've seen dollar-yen break below 80.00 to the downside. So that did cause a reaction in the dollar index, which popped lower. And with that, we saw a move higher in terms of Eurodollar and cable, so they're both now sitting around session highs. Looking ahead to tomorrow's session, firstly in the European session, we've got the German quarter-on-quarter GDP reading, and we've also got the UK GDP reading for the quarter as well. Both expected a contraction of 0.2%, which would be in line with their previous reading, so just adding to that speculation about the Eurozone and Europe in general being in a recession in this year 2012. As well, tomorrow we've got quite a few speakers, including Fed speakers and European speakers as well, so it looks to be a fairly active session tomorrow. But for the time being, that's enough from me. We'll have another update for you tomorrow at the Open around 10 o'clock London time. But in the meantime, have yourself a very pleasant evening.